Good morning, everyone. So good to be here on a Friday morning. The sun is shining, and depending on where you are in the U.S. today, I think a lot of us are getting really nice, warm weather. So it does not feel like spring. It feels like we have jumped straight to summer. So I hope it's a glorious weekend for everyone here. I have a great project for you today. I'm using a new product I saw. Um, I don't know if any of you have seen these in the stores yet. It's called Nutella Be Ready. And I love Nutella. I generally don't buy it in the jar format because I love it a little bit too much. So I don't want to have the jar in my house. But I do like portioned out snacks because I do a little bit better with them. So this is called a Nutella Be Ready, and I sampled it for you so I could feel like I was testing how good it was. And so this snack, it's like a cookie on the outside and Nutella on the inside. And it's a very kind of a plain cover, but Nutella is so good you can just eat it like right out of the jar with a spoon. So this is just kind of like you get to eat your Nutella with like a covering around it. So it's actually quite a nice little snack. So they're called Nutella Be Readies. And the nice thing about them is you can just like cover them up. I made this little, oh, that's where my little leaf went. I stamped and cut out a little leaf, and I couldn't find it, so I had to stamp another one yesterday, and it was stuck to the bottom of my project. So now I found it. We can maybe use it today. And you can just make this cute little cover for it, and that way no one really knows what it is until they open it. And I love this greeting because you totally deserve it. You can leave this on someone's desk, give it to a friend. This is just a very easy packaging to make, very quick. And I made this little flowers right here. It's with the Petal Park bundle. I'll show you all the supplies I used, but you will love making this. Very simple. And since I was doing something a little simpler, I decided I would make a card to match. This is actually a note card, and it's called a Bendy pop-out card, and you may have seen full-size cards done this way, but I thought, why not make it in a note card format, right? We can make it in like just a slightly smaller size, and Stampin' Up! Sells note card and envelopes, and so we can just make that. So this is a little, it's called a belly band, and you just slide that off, and then you have this bendy pop-out element. So it kind of just, the back folds, and the inside, this band right here is bent instead of folded, so it kind of leaves, it pops out from the card. So I'm going to show you how to make both of these projects today, and I hope you enjoy both of them. I'll start off with my favorite because I love making holders for fun snacks and stuff like that. I think a lot of you do too, because that's why you're here. You like it when I do little holders and things for candy, and I love this one. It's easy. If you don't have these in the stores yet, I put a link below close to the end of my description of my video. If you go down below and you hit see more on the description, right at the very end, you'll see a link to these Nutella Be Readies in Amazon. And so you can get them off of Amazon if you don't have them in the store yet. Oh, and I got an advertisement. I get local advertisements from my local market on through email. So they sent me an advertisement that these are now in stores. So I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could do something with that. So I went to the store, and you know what? I had the hardest time finding them. I thought maybe they didn't have them yet. So if you are looking for them in your store, I found these with the cookies. They were in the cookie aisle, and I was searching high and low, and I thought they didn't have it. And I kept searching, and sure enough, they were like right in front of my nose. So sometimes when you're looking for something, you can't see it. And I ask a couple of people in the store, like employees, and they also had no clue. They told me to go look in the cookie aisle, but they couldn't direct me directly to this. So it may take you a little bit to find it and it might not even be in your store, but that's why I left you the Amazon link in case you want to get it off of Amazon instead if you can't find it in your local store. I'm sure Nutella is going to try and market this. I did read on Amazon this morning that it's been available in Europe before, so it's, I guess, just new to the US market. So, go figure. But if it was available in Europe and it was Nutella, I'm sure if it was popular enough over there, it's worthy to be popular here as well. Okay, I am going to switch to my other camera, and if you're joining me this morning, if you have questions along the way, please go ahead and leave me questions so I can answer them at the end. I also want to let you know I do have a project sheet for this project, which is not finished, and I already found a mistake on it. That's why I don't send it out right away, because for sure I'd have mistakes if I sent it out on Friday. So that will come in your inbox on Saturday, email inbox. So you need to be on my email list if you want that project sheet. Look down below, you'll see a link. If you want my project sheets, click here to sign up for my email list. So just make sure you're on my email list. If you're already on, you will get it automatically. I do have a host code for this month, as I do always. If you use this host code when ordering and spend at least $50, you will get a package of the new, it's actually not the newest in colors, but it's the 2022 to 2024 in color pearls. They're very bright, beautiful pearls. And those will be sent to you in May if you order at least $50 with me in April. Use this host code, please, because I use this host code to get all of those gifts for you, and so that will help me out a lot. Okay, let me switch my camera. I'll get rid of that on my screen. Okay, so let's talk about some of the supplies. Okay, so you saw my card and see they match so nicely together, right? So I love that. Let me pop my Nutella. Let's talk about the supplies. For this project, I'm using this paper. It's called Hello Irresistible. I have a yellow dot on it because it is an online exclusive right now. It is not retiring, and for at least for now, I'm assuming it will be around for a little bit. It has some of our colors that are returning in it. It has Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock, which I am using today. Those colors, if you don't already have them in your collection, they're retired in colors. They will be available in May. This paper is available now, though, as are all the other supplies. Just those two ink colors are not orderable right now. Okay, so Petal Park is the bundle I'm using. Beautiful two-step florals and leaves and the punch. So I'll be using all of those today. I'm also using, for my greeting stamp set, I'm using Charming Sentiments. This one has great greetings and it has matching dies to cut out those greetings. It also has some extra little pieces. I'm not using any of the extra little pieces today, but I am using the dies to cut out the greetings. I am also using this. This is the scallop contour dies. Just want to show you what I'm using things for, because sometimes you have to substitute out. So I'm using it for this piece right here because I think that adds just a little bit of niceness to the inside. But you could also use a rectangle or another die cut shape, but this is just a great little die set. Okay, I think I've talked about kind of the main things. Just need to find room today because whenever I do two projects, it kind of, my desk gets a little cluttered. All right, let's start off with our holder. And I wanted to show you how to cut up your 6x6 piece. Let me grab. Okay, this is one of the patterns in here. I didn't actually flip through the patterns, but it's got patterns that look like emboss resist on it on one side, and then we've got kind of these watercolor washes on the other side. So lots of great patterns in that corally pink color and kind of the bluish green color. So I will have to cut this piece down to 4.5 inches by 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to cut this at the 4.5 inch mark. This is starts off as 6 by 6, so cut it at 4.5. I'm gonna reserve this piece is going to become the belly band for this piece right here. So it's nice when you have that extra piece cut right away. So I'm gonna put this aside and we'll use that later. And we've cut it at 4.5, so now we need to turn this piece and cut it at the 5 inch mark. Okay, and I don't use this piece for anything, but I might use it in the future, so I just tuck it back into my pack for future use. All right, I like to use my scoring board. I can also score on my cutter, but my scoring board is kind of my love because it's so easy to score on here. Okay, so I'm going to put the 5 inch piece, 5 inch length up at the top, and grab my stylus tool, and we'll score this piece at the 1.25 inch mark and the 3 3/4 inch mark. 1.25 and 3 3/4. Okay, that is all there is to it. All right, now we're going to fold this piece along the score line. Here's our bone folder. Smooth it down. And then if you have something cylindrical, like I have my Stampin' Mist here, if you kind of want to just bend the center part, so I've got, this is the fold right here, and this is the fold on the other side. But this middle part, if you just want to kind of like mold it around something that's cylindrical and kind of get it to shape, because what you want it to do is you want kind of that arched shape. See? Like it kind of arcs around. So if you get it started so that it's kind of forming like this, you can also use your bone folder, but it's a little awkward. Just to curl your piece just a little bit, because you want it to curve, not fold. Okay, so just see if you can get it to do that, and then you're going to grab your Nutella Be Ready. You could also do these if you want to, like if you're doing these in advance, you could also just bring it together like that, or you can wrap it around right away. Let's do it. See, this is the wraparound method. You would take this, you kind of grab this, you put Tombow here, and then you wrap it around and fold it on here, okay? Say you don't have your Nutella Be Readies yet, say you're waiting for them to ship. You can also do them like this. So let's do that. So you can do it one of two ways. So you just put Tombow on one of the end segments, and then the other one overlaps perfectly onto top, and then you're just going to need to press down on here with your fingers. And I really suggest that you use designer series paper for this project rather than cardstock, because designer series paper will bend better than cardstock, and so that's what it looks like. So when you want to put it in, it's a little hard to do that. So you just want to kind of tuck in those ends a little bit and then just tuck it in. There's enough play room that you can slide this on and off without destroying the cover, but this cover is not coming off afterwards, so it will definitely stay on there. Okay, so now we just need to decorate it up, and I'm gonna grab this piece here. This is for my leaves. Trying to remember what I cut the different pieces for. Okay, so we're gonna take these two. This is a two-step floral from that Petal Park, and we'll use Flirty Flamingo and Petal Pink. We're going to do the outline first. So Flirty Flamingo, let me grab the punch. When you're doing like a builder punch like this, I always like to have it sitting out like this because I want to make sure that I stamp in the same direction so that I know when I'm punching it, it's going to be easy for me. So this is Flirty Flamingo, ink this up, and I'm going to stamp this. That little flower is kind of towards the top, so I'm just going to kind of orient it like that. Okay, and then we'll come in with the Petal Pink ink pad. And this is the bold part of the two-step. I love, love, love two-step florals. Okay, I'm just hovering over top and then stamp down. Look at that. I just love that. It's so easy. It's probably why this bundle is carrying over into the annual catalog. And I should mention also that this bundle right now is 10%. The bundle pricing is 10% off. Let me make sure I align this. But it's going away. It will no longer be a bundle in the annual catalog. The products will be separate. So if you want the bundle pricing, then get it now because it won't be 10% off in the annual catalog. That's coming out in May. So I've got 3 flowers. We're going to use 2 of the flowers on here, and then we're going to reserve 1 of the flowers for the other, for the note card. Okay, so then let's see. We're going to take the larger flower and the bigger flower. And we'll just put a little glue. We'll glue those 2 together. Okay, and then this will be reserved for the card. And then we also need to stamp this greeting, and we need to stamp some leaves. So let's grab our other ink pads. Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon. We'll do this greeting. And these are greetings from the Charming Sentiments. So let's do this one because you totally deserve it. I'll stamp that down here. And you know what? Let's do the one that we need for the card as well. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. And you know, truly you can choose whatever greeting you want for that stamp set. You don't have to choose a birthday one. I'll stamp those 2 on there. Okay, so we'll die cut those in just a second. And we'll also do our leaves. And we'll need these 2 stamps right here. These are on A blocks. And I stamped them with there is one end that is slightly more pointy. And I'm going to stamp that down, orient it with my punch. Oh, and I should mention also that our clear blocks are going up in price in the new catalog. So if you want to get your clear blocks cheaper right now, get them now in April before they go up in price. There's also in my supply list today, I put the whole bundle, the clear block bundle on there as well. So, but you can buy them individually. So this is, I'm using the combination between Lost Lagoon and Pretty Peacock. This is Lost Lagoon, and there we go. So I stamped 4 leaves. You only need 3 leaves. You need 2 leaves for this one and 1 leaf for the card. I just did a bunch of them just to show you how easy it is to kind of do them on a row. This cardstock strip is 1 inch wide, I believe. Let's see if it fits in here. I might need to trim down my strip. Let's see. You know what? It probably would have been good if I had made this. You really just need about a 7/8 or a 3/4 inch strip, and then it makes it easier to align. So let's cut this down just a little bit so you can see what I mean. If the skinnier the strip, the easier it is to do your punching. You have then a little bit of wiggle room for the punch pieces, so then you can kind of turn it a little bit to fit, and then you just use these. And it's nicer to do this in a little strip, that way you don't have to punch out like a really big piece of cardstock. It wastes less cardstock if you use like a tiny strip, and then you can just do these really quickly. Punch, 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 right? Okay. All right. So let's die cut these. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna build part of the card piece too. So we'll do all of our die cutting at the same time. Okay, so I want to stamp, this is going to be for the inside of the card. Okay, we're going to stamp this piece, and then we're going to die cut it. So let me show you how I did that. I'm going to use, there are these two kind of largish stamps in that Petal Park bundle, and I put these on e-blocks. I have multiples of all of my blocks because it just makes life easier, especially when you're doing two-step stamping. And we'll do the same order where we do the detail stamp in the darker color and we stamp it first. I find that's the easiest. Okay. And we'll just stamp this in the center of a scrap piece of basic white. Kind of want to give yourself some room. We're going to die cut this out afterwards. And we'll come in with our Lost Lagoon. Actually, you know what? We're going to have to do this stamping again for the front of the card, but we'll do that in a minute. I'm trying to do all the die cutting at the same time. So this one, I'm just going to hover over the outline until I feel like I've lined it up pretty well. And then I'll come down like that. So it creates kind of a background for you to put the flowers in. This would take forever to color, but with the magic of stamping, it's pretty quick. And then we'll come back in with our florals. And this time, we need to orient this into the spaces. So this middle space is where that big flower is going to be. And so we're just going to twist your flower until it kind of nests into all the greenery right there. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? I just love it. Okay. And then we're going to come in with Petal Park and fill in those flowers like magic. And we'll just twist this again, hover over top, and stamp down. Voila! So awesome. Okay, so let's set this aside and let's bring in our mini emboss machine. I love this machine. It is tiny. I've got so much stuff here. Let me grab what I need. So this machine for me is a little, it's a tight machine. They all are a little tiny bit different. Normally they say to use the number 1 plate, but for this machine I have to use my 3 plate, my number 3 plate. So when you get your machine, you get both a 1 and a 3 plate. And so if your machine is too tight using the recommended 1 plate, just switch to the number 3 plate and it will make your life so much easier. So we'll put down the 3 plate a clear 2-plate. We're going to grab our greeting, and we'll take this, and we're going to do these one at a time. We'll turn this. We'll grab a little bit of this labeling and cover up tape, or use the top of a Post-it note, the sticky portion, and we're just going to line this up. You want to see all of your words lined up in here. All right, once you like the way that's lined up, stick it down with that tape, and then we're going to run this through. Just crank it through. See, it just works so nicely with the number 3 plate. I struggled with the number 1 plate, but the number 3 plate is perfect. And see, look how cute that is. That's going to fit right on top of our little holder. We'll slide this back through. Now we're going to do this other one. And they all have dies, different dies that match the greetings. So we're going to do the same here, just kind of nest it around. Make sure you just go around and look at all of the letters to make sure they all appear in that window. When they do, just pin it down with that tape, and then we're going to run it through. Okay. See? So cool, right? That would take a while to fussy cut out. And then last but not least, we'll grab this one. I think, okay, I cut that piece a little bit too large, but no worries. I think it's this one. Yeah, that's the one we need right here. This is again from the scallop contour dies. So what happens? I cut this too big, so I'm just gonna cut this down on either side. Let's see. Got this a little bit more. Okay. Just make sure, I think you have about a 3-inch, I think it's 3 1/4 inches of room. So if you cut your piece a little bit smaller, that would work a little better. So for this one, what I'm looking for is it's going to cut off some of the greenery. So what I want to kind of have this do is the flowers are going to be like the most visible thing. So I'm just kind of orienting it so it cuts off a little bit of this flower in the window. Actually, it won't cut off the flower entirely. It's just going to look like it's cutting it off. And then I'm just trying to kind of do the same for the leaves. Kind of like that. Okay. And then I need to find my other clear plate. Aha. Okay. Number 3 plates on the top, then there's a clear plate, then there's my piece of cardstock, my die, and my second clear plate needs to go on top. So let's go ahead and roll this through. Usually if I have a little bit of room, I do it on a bit of an angle. So this is a bit of a tight piece, so I had to do it kind of straight on today, but it still was fine and it still cut the piece out. So there we go. We have a nice center piece for our card later on. Okay, so that is all of the die cutting done. And I can just pop these plates away. And my little mini boss is going away as well. All right, now we have some assembly to do. So let's bring this in. Let's bring our little flower in. We need some leaves. Okay, so for this flower, I'm going to take a leaf. And this flower is going to kind of come off here. So I want one leaf like this. And then I want another leaf over here like that. So we'll take a little tombow And just glue the leaves like that. And that's going to sit there. And then we're going to add this greeting on here. And we'll just adhere that right onto there. And then we'll grab a dimensional and stick it on the back of the flower. And just add that right there. All right, and then to finish it off, I'm going to grab one of these iridescent rhinestone basic jewels, and these are one of my favorite embellishments, and they're carrying over into the catalog, and I couldn't be happier. So I can continue to use them because they're neutral and they pick up the colors of the stamping around them. So they're just like really pretty. They finish off this little guy really, really easily. Now I did do a bunch of pre-stamping for my other cards. So this actually is a very, very quick project. You saw how quickly that all came together, cut and scored and stuff. So you could make multiples of these and you wouldn't tear your hair out. So now on to the note card. So I want to show you how to make that as well. So let's bring in, these are Stampin' Up's note cards and envelopes. And I haven't used these a lot in a while, but in the past I have used these really heavily. You may see I have some old note card holders on my blog that you can access. I love note cards because they are, you can mail them with the post office. They are fully mailable. They're a little bit smaller than our traditional card, and when you're making a card, they are already pre-cut and pre-scored. So let's pull one of these out. You can see that center score line's already there, and then it's got you've got your matching envelopes, and you get 20 of these in a pack. So it's really cool that you're just kind of ready to go with 20 cards. So I'm going to show you how to turn this note card into the Bendy pop-up card. If you do not have a note card handy, you want to try this project, you can cut yourself one. You'll need a piece of cardstock that is 7 inches by 5 inches. Okay, and I'm gonna redo the center score line too, so you don't have to worry that it isn't scored yet. So we'll bring in our scoring tool again. You can also score this on your trimmer. Okay, so 7 by 5, and then we'll grab our scoring tool. Let me straighten that out a bit for you. Okay, we are going to put the 7-inch side up at the top and score at the 1 3/4 inch mark, the 3 1/2 inch mark. This is actually already scored for me, but I'm going to score it again. And then the 5 1/4 inch mark. Okay, so it looks like this. It's basically you're taking your card and scoring it, and so it has 4 equal segments. All right, we are going to fold this piece along the score lines. My bone folder's right here. Fold it in the center. Everything goes towards the inside. All right. I also am going to stamp on the front of this piece. You can see I did a little stamping, so it just kind of enhances the belly band a little bit when you do that. So let's flatten this as much as I can. And we're going to bring back in our big leaf stamps on our, these are E-blocks. And we'll bring back in, first of all, Pretty Peacock. All right, so Pretty Peacock, and what I'm going to do is I'm kind of holding this down and hovering until I find kind of where I want to stamp. You could probably also use like some painter's tape or something to kind of help hold your card shut while you're stamping. But I kind of just, yeah, I'm just kind of smushing this down. The other alternative, if you do not want to stamp on here, because that might not be what you love to do, you could also use Designer Series paper panels on the front. But I thought I would just use this stamp again and show you, if you didn't want to do that, you could just go ahead and stamp on it. But this paper coordinates with itself, so you could just use Designer Series paper panels on there. Okay, so we are going to now make sure we match this up a little bit. I'm going to smush this down onto here. Like that. All right. Let's pack these up and move them out of the way because they are in the way. All right, and then we can come in. Oh, I should have kept these out. Let's grab Lost Lagoon. I added a few little dots. There's also this little tiny stamp in, and I'm using not soft succulent. This is Lost Lagoon. Lost Lagoon and soft succulent, I think, are maybe a little bit similar. They're both blue greens. So if you miss soft succulent, this is kind of the bluer version of that, at least in my estimation. So that's what the front of my card looks like. Once you open it, you really truly will want to display the card open. So if this looks a little bland to you, don't worry, that's not how people are going to display it. And also it has a belly band to it as well. So it will have a belly band on the front. Okay, so let's fix the inside now, and then we'll do the belly band. So we've got this piece that is bent, and we need to create a piece that is the bendy piece of this card. So the bendy piece starts off as 4 3/8 by 1 inch. 4 3/8 by 1 inch. We'll take our scoring tool once more. And we'll score this piece at the 1/2 inch mark and the 3 7/8 inch mark. So basically 1/2 inch in on both sides. Okay. This is going to nest just inside this piece. So what we can do is fold this and fold this. Use our bone folder. Fold it down, and if you want to give this just a little bit of curl, so like it wants to bend out later on, it's just helping it go in that right direction. So you're going to eyeball this top to bottom so that it's centered, and this is going to sit just inside these 2 outer score lines. So we'll put glue on both of these. Called a Bendy pop-out card. I did not invent this fold, but I did figure out my own measurements for the note card size. And I don't know who invented it. I've seen it done by multiple people now, so I wish I knew who to give the original credit to the design. But it's I've done Bendy pop-up cards before, so this is what it looks like, that bendy strip. And then we're going to take this piece that we stamped earlier, and we'll grab a dimensional, and we'll put the dimensional dead center on this piece right here. Take off the liner, and then you just orient this however you want. I'm going to try and make sure it is centered from top to bottom and side to side. And when I like how it looks, I'll press down. So now it is stuck to just that one dimensional. And because it's just on that one dimensional, this piece pops out even more depending on how much you bend it. Okay. All right. So then I grabbed some more designer series paper. And these pieces are 4 3/4 by 1.5, and they will just nest inside those last 2 panels. And the nice thing about this sizing is I used half the sheet of the designer series paper for my first card, and then I still had enough to do the second card, and then you'll have a little bit of a leftover. So it was 4 3/4 by 1.5, and that just gives you 4 panels, so you can make 2 cards and get 4 little panels, so 2 cards out of 1 sheet of designer series paper. All right, let's make this belly band right here. So we'll close this up, and remember when we cut our piece for our Be Ready holder, we had this leftover piece. So now we're going to use that to create the belly band. So I'm going to center this approximately, kind of just eyeball it, and then I'm going to wrap these pieces to the back. I don't want a tight wrap. I just want it to kind of be like a loose wrap, because you want to be able to slide this. Like, I could tell you where to score this, but I think it's just better to wrap it depending on your card. Okay, so you will have a little bit of a gap in the back, and I think I forgot to cut that piece. So let's do that right now. Grabbing into I have like a pile of, let's see, is this the right width? It's a little shy. Got lots of pieces of scrap cardstock. Okay, that's good. So let's grab our trimmer. And so this piece needs to be the width of the card, so that's 3.5 inches. So we'll just go ahead and cut this at 3.5. And we need to cut this piece down to 1.5 so it matches up with the width of that belly band. All right. So take the belly band off now, and we're going to just adhere this and adhere that. So we'll put the adhesive on the bent over piece. And if you wanted to, you could make, like if you had 12 by 12 paper, you could make your belly band go all the way around and overlap. So you could absolutely do that. But since this is 6 by 6 paper, I'm fudging a little bit. You know, it's okay. It's okay to fudge a little bit. All right, so there is the little belly band piece. We've got the inside. It goes like this. We close it up, and now we're going to slide that belly band over top. Okay, slide it down. Okay, and then we're going to grab this flower from earlier, this greeting. We'll put the greeting on here first, and I'm trying to get it so it's near the bottom and towards the right. I'm not centering it because I need room for my flower. Oops, now I slid that. Okay, let's let it sit right there. Okay, and then we're going to take this flower, and we can use a dimensional for that too. Put it on the back, peel it off, and put that right there. See, the nice thing about punching these flowers right here is because you get 3 flowers, and I only use 2 for there. Then you have the leftover flower for another project. And then you can add a little leaf tucked in. This already has leaves, but you know, just kind of add another little leaf onto there just to kind of get it to go. And then we'll take one of these jewels. We'll use a medium size and we'll pop that on there. And then it will match the original project like that. So there you go. You've got a card and you've got a treat. So I wanted to see, I was wondering if this would fit inside a clear envelope. I'm always seeing if there's even more ways to package things up. I didn't do that last night, so I was curious as to whether or not all of this would fit into one of our clear envelopes. So let's do a little experiment. You know what? And if you pull the back of this adhesive, this has like an adhesive strip on it that you just need to pull it off. Look at that. It kind of fits in there. So that would be a nice little way to package that up. If we put it in the envelope, let's see what it looks like if it's in the envelope. If I did an envelope, I might want to stamp the front of the envelope too to make it look pretty. But let's say we put this in an envelope. Let's see how much wiggle room we have then. Put this in here. Might be a little bit tighter because the envelopes are always a little bit bigger than. We could also angle this. When you angle it, you give yourself a little bit more room. And then bend this over and adhere it. Look at that. Do you like that? I love it when I can package something up. So I didn't put this on my supply list. So just in case you're interested, these are clear medium envelopes. And look at that. The item number is cut off. I think it's 102619. I am going to grab my catalog real quick and just double check that item number for you. It's harder to find in the catalog because they're clear and I think people overlook them, but I like to use them for packaging sometimes. Here we go. See, look at, you've got the envelopes, the vanilla, the white, and then we've got the clear. It looks like a little shadow. So it's 102619. Currently they are $6. They are going up in price in the new catalog. So if you use these for packaging purposes, pick up a couple of packs right now because they are going up in price in the new catalog. I think I have the new catalog here. I can't show it, but I'm looking at it off the side here. Let me see if I can find the price of what it's going to be. I think they're going up 50 cents. Oh no, they're going up $1. So the clear envelopes, get a package now. There's 50 in a pack. So that's kind of a good deal. All right. I'm coming over to you guys. I hope you like that project. Like, just kind of fun to do something new, a new product. Nutella, be ready. Is like a new product out there. So it might be fun because I think a lot of people like Nutella, except people that have nut allergies. This would not be good for them. But, you know, a lot of times people do love Nutella. So it'd be a fun little thing. Okay, well, I've blabbed a lot. You know about my project sheet. You need to be on my email list to get it. It emails out on Saturdays. And my host code, I'll put that up there one more time. We are still in the last chance phase of the old annual catalog and the Jan to April mini catalog. And so if you go to the store right now and you click on that big banner up at the top that says last chance products, if you click on there, it will take you to the page of the retiring products. And what I like to do, because I like deals, I like to go in, there's a way you can sort it. Look for the little sorting menu and sort it from lowest price to highest price. or it says sort by lowest price. Then you'll get all the products that are the lowest price, which are usually the sale items. You might have a few regular price items in there as well, but usually the lowest price items are the sale items. So I like to go through and look at things in that way and see what good deals. I had a customer last night. She ordered, I wanted to pull these out. I hope they're still available, but all the in color ribbon from last year, this gorgeous ribbon, I'm so sad it is retiring. This ribbon is got this sheer element to it. This stuff is on sale, and the polished pink, the pale papaya, and I'm trying to think what other color there were. Anyway, those two colors, the ribbon was like $2 something per roll. That's like an awesome deal because I use this ribbon extensively in past projects, and it's retiring, and I'm sad because I loved this ribbon. It ties very nicely. The bows look really nice. It looks pretty on projects. So very good deals right now to be had. So check those out. Remember, we also are having some price increases coming up. So the clear blocks that you stick your stamps to, those are going up in price, and the envelopes are going up in price. Cardstock's going up in price. So those are things that right now, even if you don't want any sale price items, there are some things that will be going up in price. So if you need some staples like your cardstock, your envelopes, pick those up now before they go up in the May catalog. All right, I think I've talked about everything. Let's go and look at your comments and say hello. Good morning, Marty. And she says it looks like a neat project. Thank you. Good morning, Vera Blue. And you're heading into the 80s in Tennessee, and you know what? It's going to be the same temperature here in Massachusetts, which is really bizarre for mid-April in Massachusetts. I think for once on Monday is Patriots Day here in Massachusetts, and that's when they run the Boston Marathon, and usually it's cold and drizzly and wet. I'm gonna look on my phone right now because I'm in a chatty mood today for some reason. So I'm looking at Monday's forecast. It looks like it might rain on Monday, but hopefully, yeah, it looks like it's going to rain later in the day, but it's actually going to be a high, well, you guys a lot of you don't do Celsius. It's going to be 14 degrees Celsius, which I think would equate to like maybe the 60s, maybe high 50s. And usually it's not that pleasant for the Boston Marathon. So it's going to be a nice day for the marathon. And the marathon route comes really close to where I live. So that's always really cool to see the runners go by. All right, I am digressing a lot this morning. Good morning, Janine. Marty's thanked me for the sacrifice. You know, I talked about how I have to sacrifice for you guys by trialing out new products, and I had to actually try out the Nutella Be Readies because I did not want to bring you something that I didn't enjoy. So yeah, I sacrifice for you. Good morning, Ellie. Good morning, Deborah. And she has a warm and sunny day. Oh, that's awesome. Janine said, is there something other than Nutella that would fit? I don't care for Nutella at all. Well, you know, I don't know of anything else that will fit. I designed this specifically for Nutella, but I can guarantee you that there are people around you that love Nutella. And so even if you do not care for it, maybe your grandkids care for it. I don't know. I don't know. I grew up, I can't remember when I was introduced to Nutella, but if it wasn't Nutella, it was something because my parents coming from Germany, like that was kind of like a thing, like chocolate spread. So I think I probably had it before a lot of other people did. And so I do have a taste for it. So, you know, you don't have to force it on people, of course, but, and I haven't seen anything else that will fit. But it is kind of a cool design. I mean, you could do this with other things if you found them. And Janine, if you find something else and it's a slightly different size, let me know, and I will build something for it that holds it. Like if anyone finds anything that they want me to build a holder around, just send me an email or leave me a message. I would love to build something for a different snack food. I find that kind of challenging, so I love to do that. Good morning, Dee. Ellie says that punch is great. I agree. I have enjoyed, and I didn't embrace it in the beginning. One of the reasons I didn't embrace it is that stamp set doesn't have any greetings in it, so I always had to pair it with another greeting set. But I tell you, it is so fun to build cards with that punch, those background leaves and putting those flowers in place. It's a fabulous punch and stamp set. Deborah says she loves the color combination. You know what? You know how I came up with my color combination? I've said this before. I go to the back of the paper. Flirty flamingo, petal pink, pretty peacock, lost lagoon. There you go. Those colors are all there. That's how I came up with it. It's nice. I used to say, oh, I want to try different color combinations. And I'd come up with a color combination and then I'd have no paper to match with it. So now I start with the paper. I look at the colors on the back and I say, okay, I'm going to use this color, this color, this color. And it made my life so much easier. So that's how I do my color combinations. It's the easy button. Ellie says, just a friendly suggestion. If you like this project, give it a thumbs up. Thank you, Ellie. I'm very bad at self-promoting. So yeah, give my video a thumbs up. I would have really appreciate that. That helps more people see me. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do that as well. You can click on the little bell when you subscribe, and that will allow you to get notifications when I go live. But I'm pretty consistent when I go live. I go live Fridays on YouTube, and on Tuesdays I go live on my Facebook page, and it's always 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm pretty consistent with my lives unless I get called away for an emergency. I like to have lives on those days, or videos. If I know in advance I'm going to be away, I try and pop videos into those time slots so that I don't leave you for too long. But thank you, Ellie. You're so sweet to think of that. Hi, Connie from Denmark. Janine says lovely. Hello, Stuart from sunny New Hampshire. You live close to my Massachusetts state here, so you kind of get the same weather as I do. Dee says, might the Nutella bar fit in the curve inside the card itself? So cute. Oh yeah, that would be an idea when you are packaging it up, that you could perhaps put it inside the curve. I'm doing that right now, Dee, off camera to see if it will fit. Okay, so this is what it would look like this. So if you weren't going to use the envelopes that came with it, or say you made your own cards, say you didn't use the note cards, you could do this and then package it up. It's going to be a little tiny bit tight for the clear envelopes when you do that, but I think you could probably make it work as well. So you could package it up like that. Good suggestion, Dee. I know Dee, she does a lot of, she sells her projects at a little store, and so Dee's got a good eye for things like that. But yeah, you could do that. Just different ways to package it up. I love the clear envelopes. Look how cute this is. So easy, right? one of my easier projects, but easy is good because you can replicate it if you need to do a lot of them. Jen says, very cute. Thank you. Marty says, it's perfect in the clear envelope. I agree. Janine says, I love the packaging. If I make anything with food and sell it where I market my cards, it has to be packaged and sealed. That's, I think, really important these days. Fair Blue said, very nice card and Nutella gift project. It is lovely in the package. Thank you. Diane says, cute project. Dee says, cute project. Looks like regular sized candy bars would work in place of the Nutella too. Are they the same length and width? So I don't know. I guess everything is so specific to the bar. I don't like to say something would work and wouldn't work, but the concept would be the same. You just need to work out the measurements. And if you want me to do something, give me a specific bar and a specific size, because I will go look for it in my local store and build something around it, because it's very hard to do it without the 3D right in front of it. But the concept of this, the concept of it could be adapted for other things as well, right? But I just thought the Nutella is kind of a fun thing, because you totally deserve it, right? I totally deserve to try out those Nutella snacks for you. Janine said, good point. She's betting the kids will like it. Yeah, I'm sure they will, as long as they don't have a nut allergy, because Nutella, given its name, does have nuts in it. Marty says, here in Pittsburgh, they're forecasting a high of 49 on Tuesday and 80 on Thursday. Wow. It's kind of crazy warm weather right now in New England. Laura said, wrap a candy bar you do like and just decorate the same. Yeah, I agree. It's a very easy concept. You kind of just need to, you know what I did to kind of get the measurements? I took a piece of computer paper. First of all, I measured approximately how wide I wanted this. I didn't take the total width of the bar because I wanted this to stick out on the end, and I measured this. The width of my candy bar was 4.5 inches. So I cut a piece of computer paper to 4.5 inches, and I did wrap it around, and then I kind of lightly creased where I thought, the overlap would be, and then I unfolded it, and I kind of made some little measurements, and then I solidified the measurements. I'm like, okay, it was just a tiny bit off of true measurements, like on the 1/8 inch mark. So I just fudged it a little bit, and then I got it down to the correct measurements. So you can absolutely adopt this for other things. And if you have trouble, let me know. I'm happy to work with other candy and also sample the other candy, because I want to make sure that you guys are getting a really good candy to be wrapped, right? Janine says she didn't think of that, what Laura had said about wrapping the candy. I'm not thinking much today. LOL, thank you. Well, yeah, I think sometimes my brain works like that too. Like all of a sudden, like there's like this light bulb that goes off, and you have this moment where you could have been doing things a lot easier in the past, and you just didn't think of it that way. Can you just imagine how much information our brains have to process all the time, that we can't always see everything clearly right away? So you're in good company, Janine. Carol says she loves the card. Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Stuart says, I do live close. I'm only 30 minutes north of Boston. Oh, so you must be right on the border. You're right that this weather is unusual, but I'm enjoying it. I know, right? I feel a little guilty enjoying this warm weather, because I think, oh, this is not good to have such warm weather. But then on the other hand, I'm like, when I opened the door yesterday or last night, I haven't not turned on the air conditioning yet. I could have though. But what I did last night is it cooled off last night. So once the heat of the day had dissipated, I opened up the windows in the house, and I let the cool air come in a little bit, and it was really nice. It's kind of nice not to feel cold because I generally feel cold all winter long. I have a space heater in here. It's nice just to feel the warmth, to open up the door and just feel the sun like hit you and kind of give you a hug, a sunshine hug, right? Um, Christine says, such a cute card and treat project. Thank you for sharing this fun idea. Well, thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm so glad you were here. Look for my project sheet in the mail tomorrow. Have a fabulous weekend, and I will be back at it next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on my Facebook business page. That video also gets posted on YouTube though. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.